Guy de Maupassant was a famous French writer known for his short stories and novels. He was born on August 5, 1850, in a small town in Normandy, France. His works are famous for their clear style, simple language, and deep understanding of human nature. Many of his stories explore themes like love, war, and the struggles of everyday life. One of his most famous works is The Necklace, a story about a woman who borrows a necklace and loses it, leading to years of hardship. Another well-known story is Boule de Souffle, which takes place during the Franco-Prussian War and shows the hypocrisy of people in difficult times. Maupassant's writing often reveals the truth about human behavior, sometimes in a humorous way, and sometimes in a very serious way. Maupassant grew up near the sea, and this influenced many of his stories. The natural beauty of Normandy often appears in his works, creating a vivid backdrop for his characters. His mother loved literature and encouraged his interest in writing, while his father was more interested in art and music. Although Maupassant studied law in Paris, he soon left to join the army during the Franco-Prussian War. This experience gave him material for many of his later stories, where he wrote about the effects of war on ordinary people. After the war, he worked as a clerk in government offices, but he spent his free time writing. One of the most important influences on Maupassant's writing was the famous novelist Gustave Flaubert, who was a friend of his mother. Flaubert became a mentor to Maupassant, teaching him how to observe life carefully and write with precision. Flaubert believed that a writer should describe reality without adding unnecessary emotions or opinions. Maupassant followed this advice, and his stories often feel very real, as if they could happen to anyone. His first great success came in 1880 with the publication of Boule de Souffle, which was praised by critics and readers alike. After that, he wrote hundreds of short stories and several novels, becoming one of the most popular writers of his time. Maupassant's stories often focus on ordinary people facing extraordinary situations. In The Necklace, for example, a woman named Matilda borrows a beautiful necklace to wear to a party but loses it. Instead of telling the truth, she and her husband work for 10 years to repay the cost of the necklace, only to discover it was fake. The story shows how pride and dishonesty can lead to unnecessary suffering. Another story, The Horla, is very different. It is a horror story about a man who believes an invisible creature is controlling his mind. This story reflects Maupassant's own fears and struggles with mental illness later in life. Despite his success, Maupassant's life was not easy. He suffered from health problems, including syphilis, which affected his mind and body. In his later years, he became increasingly paranoid and depressed. He died in 1893 at the age of 42, but his stories continue to be read and admired around the world. His ability to capture the truth of human nature in simple, powerful words makes his work timeless. Many modern writers have been influenced by his style, and his stories are still studied in schools and universities. If you read Maupassant's stories, you will notice how he creates vivid characters with just a few details. In The Umbrella, for example, he describes a stingy woman who refuses to buy a new umbrella, even when hers is full of holes. Her stubbornness leads to a funny but sad situation, showing how small actions can reveal big truths about people. Another story, The Piece of String, is about a man who is wrongly accused of stealing a wallet just because he was seen picking up a piece of string. The story explores how rumors can destroy a person's reputation, even when they are innocent. Maupassant's birthday, August 5, is a good day to remember his contributions to literature. His stories may be short, but they are full of meaning. They make us think about our own lives and the choices we make. Whether he is writing about a greedy farmer in The Devil or a lonely old man in The Beggar, Maupassant always finds a way to touch the reader's heart. His work reminds us that great storytelling does not need complicated words or plots. Sometimes, the simplest stories are the most powerful. If you are learning French or just enjoy good stories, Maupassant's works are a perfect choice. Many of his stories are available in easy-to-read versions for language learners, and they provide a fascinating glimpse into 19th century France. You can almost hear the sound of the sea in his descriptions of Normandy, or feel the tension in a room where two characters are hiding secrets. His writing is like a window into another time, yet the emotions and conflicts feel very modern. One of the reasons Maupassant's stories are so effective is his use of irony. Irony is when something happens that is the opposite of what you expect. In The Necklace, the irony is that Mathilde and her husband suffer for years to repay a debt that did not even need to be repaid. In The Piece of String, the irony is that the main character tells the truth but no one believes him. These twists make the stories memorable and thought-provoking. Another strength of Maupassant's writing is his ability to describe settings. Whether he is writing about a crowded Paris street or a quiet countryside village, his descriptions make the places come alive. In Boule de Souffle, the opening scene describes a group of travelers stuck in a coach during winter, their breath visible in the cold air. This simple image helps the reader feel the tension and discomfort of the characters. Maupassant also had a talent for dialogue, the way characters speak to each other. In his stories, people often say one thing but mean another, revealing their true feelings through subtle hints. For example, in The Jewels, a husband pretends not to care about his wife's expensive jewelry, but his actions show his real greed. This kind of writing makes the characters feel like real people, not just figures in a story. Although Maupassant wrote more than 300 short stories, each one is unique. Some are funny, some are tragic, and some are a mix of both. He did not shy away from difficult topics such as poverty, betrayal, and madness. Yet even in his darkest stories, there is often a sense of humanity, a reminder that people are complex and cannot be easily judged. If you have never read Maupassant before, a good story to start with is The Necklace. It is short, easy to understand, and full of emotion. Another great choice is Two Friends, a sad but beautiful story about two men who go fishing during a war. The ending is unexpected and stays with you long after you finish reading. Maupassant's influence can be seen in many later writers, including Anton Chekhov and O. Henry, who also mastered the art of the short story. His focus on ordinary people and everyday struggles helped shape modern literature. Even today, his stories are adapted into films, plays, and television shows, proving that great storytelling never goes out of style. So, on August the 5th, take a moment to celebrate Guy de Maupassant's birthday by reading one of his stories. Whether you choose a tale of love, horror, or irony, you will discover why he remains one of the greatest short story writers of all time. His work shows us that even the smallest moments can contain deep truths about life, and that is a lesson worth remembering.